Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast with Tristan and Stefani. Today is April 24th, 2020, another Sushi Friday. So I think the plan is, I think we got it down to a routine. As soon as I get off work at 5, we do the podcast, and right after the podcast,
we go get sushi. Our favorite.
But today's conversation isn't about sushi. We're going to talk about how we got in so much trouble.
Yeah. Are we saying how much debt we got into? I can't remember the number.
I'm comfortable with saying it. I want to say at the most, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, maybe 15?
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
I was thinking it was, just under 20.
Wow.
Right?
Okay, so let's find a happy medium.
Okay.
We'll say 18.
Yeah.
We got $18,000 into debt. And I feel like it started like the minute we moved in together.
Oh, for sure. So I moved in with you, and I think, I'm going to be honest, I had $3,000 to my name before I moved in with you. And I think I just wasn't prepared for moving out. It was the first time I had ever moved out and paid my own rent. You had already been paying rent for a whole year.
For about a year, yeah.
By yourself, but
and I had a lot of money saved up. But the thing is I wasn't making any money. So it was just getting chewed up month by month with all the bills and rent and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't think I know we didn't have a budget at the time that we moved in together. And what was the first trip that we took together?
We went to Costa Rica.
But
the thing is that in my line of work, I want a lot of expensive stuff. And so what my issue was that I would see something that I want, whether it be a camera or a lens, or I want to go to a Laker game that's really expensive. I would just put it on credit card. And because I had that savings, that amount of money in my savings, it was always, I'll pay it off later. And I never really did. My spending habits were horrible. I didn't fully grasp the concept of a credit card and interest. And so that kind of contributed to our issue. And then in the midst of that, we went to Costa Rica.
Yes, we did. I know I put the whole thing on credit card. I think I opened up a brand new credit card just because I was going to get certain points.
This
Remember?
Is news to me.
Yeah,
we opened up the credit card because you didn't start gaining points until we were saving up to go to Europe. Costa Rica, we didn't have any. I didn't have that travel job when we went to Costa Rica.
Okay. Well, I thought I got it then, but and then I would say the next thing after Costa Rica, because for me, Costa Rica was what threw me over the edge.
Yeah.
First of all, I didn't have a bunch of emergency savings when we moved in together. And then we went to Costa Rica, and then I had a horrible job, and the person would yell at us all the time. And I just remember being so angry one day. The person made me cry. They were just, they were a huge bully. And I quit because I just was done with it. I don't regret that.
Yeah.
But I didn't have anything lined up after.
You straight up just didn't go in.
No.
I don't blame you because I remember you coming home stressed every single day, and it would just build up until it got to that point. So I don't blame you for leaving one bit. No one should be treated like that in the workforce.
Nope.
Especially when you're doing a good job I know you always do.
Well, thanks.
Of course.
So that added to my debt because then I think I started back up at Starbucks, and that was not giving me enough money as the previous job.
Right.
So I was just kind of hoping
you just needed
I would make enough
at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what else? I think after that we kind of got a hold of our budget.
I don't really think we did until our third apartment, because Costa Rica is what really, again, like you said, sent us over the edge. But I think it was just neither one of us really grasped the concept of a credit card, so our spending habits were just absolutely terrible. I remember I'm buying these lenses because I'm getting excited about my videos and I'll pay it off later. I just got to save X amount each week or each paycheck, and I'll pay it off eventually. But again, we didn't really.
There was no eventually.
There was no eventually, and interest caught up with us really fast. Really, really fast.
Yeah. You make like a $70 payment on your credit card and then you get charged $67.
Yeah. And so you're
on
not,
top of your balance.
you're
So
not really
like,
paying off anything.
nothing.
And it's really frustrating. I don't know. And then not only that, but I remember like we were struggling to pay rent for a long time in multiple apartments. Like it was a struggle to pay rent along with water, gas, electric, blah, blah, blah. Like we were scraping by for a long time.
I think at that point, obviously, like we didn't have a budget. So like, yeah, we knew what our rent was, but I don't think we even took the time to ever write down what every single bill was. I don't think we knew.
Yeah.
So I don't think we knew where to put our paychecks once we received them.
We would just
spend it and hope we had enough for like rent the next month.
Like say for instance, 1 month, and I'm just throwing like numbers out there, whatever. Say 1 month our rent is $1,000, which everyone knows in California it's a lot more than that. But again, I'm just throwing out random numbers. Rent is $1,000, gas is $40, electric is $35, internet $70, and we didn't budget it, and so it was all linked to our accounts. Some of them we had to pay manually, and again, we would, like you said, we would just hope that we had enough, and we did, but it just wasn't a smart way to go about paying monthly expenses.
And I think we ended up putting food on credit cards.
We put food on credit card a lot.
Yeah, which was so dumb. Like going out.
Yeah, going out. Even, I mean, groceries too, you know.
Sometimes.
Grocery shopping was so dangerous because we would go out not knowing how much we have to spend. We would just spend money on stuff we needed and hope we would be okay.
Right.
But then...
And then I got a budget for us.
Things took a turn for the better because my wife is really smart.
Thanks. Yeah, I think it just came to a point where I was looking at my credit card personally and I was like, what the heck is this? How did it go from like 1,000 1 month and now I'm at like 3,000 here, like 2,000 there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
where did all this come from?
How?
Yeah. How many credit cards did we have? I know I had my Amex because I wanted to build up points. Because I remember like I had the card, and then once you got the travel job, you had the card, and this was after we went to Costa Rica, and that's eventually what paid for our Europe trip. But we didn't manage those cards properly, so I had PayPal, I had Amex, and then we had to open up credit cards to what is it, the combined it's like,
what is it,
so
you
it's
combine
like,
your debt,
not to combine your debt, but you transfer your balance transfer.
Yeah, you
balance
do balance transfers to consolidate
the interest.
Yeah.
So then we had to open up 3 cards. I know personally, just me, I opened up 3 credit cards just to do the balance transfer to pay those off.
Right.
I don't remember how many you had.
Well, I know that when I was accruing debt, I think I only had 2 credit cards.
Yeah.
But then when we did the balance transfers so that we can stop getting interest charges, so we can kind of start to catch up, I think I had like 4 different cards.
Oh my God.
Maybe 3 new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a lot.
And then things that don't help. I can't remember what happened to my truck, but I ended up having to open up a line of credit with that specific company that I had do service on my truck.
Oh.
And then I think I had to.
Yes, I do remember that.
Balance transfer that. That was still when we were in Anaheim. I remember that.
Yep.
Something happened. I can't remember. That was years ago.
I think once we like kind of got a hold of our good jobs, like
our okay jobs.
And well, no, they were okay at the time. It was like we were making ends meet.
We needed
for sure.
it. We needed it.
And at that time we had the budget, but I think even then, I think we still lived above our means a little bit more than, like, we still kind of had that mindset of like,
kind of like how we just each year we would go overboard for our birthdays.
Yes. Why did we do that?
Because we love each other. We wanted to spoil each other on our special days.
We're like, let's spend $300 on each other.
Let's go on a private helicopter ride.
And my birthday is first, so you would spend it on me, and then I'd be like, crap, I got to spend this on him.
Yeah. And then like the trip to Atlanta, I think that was the biggest. I don't know how much money you spent, but I think that was the most money.
I budgeted that one out.
Oh.
So I felt good about that.
Good for you. Okay. I see you.
Yeah.
So, see, we wised up eventually.
We did. It took 4 years.
4 years. Yeah, 4 years.
That was an honest quiver.
It was a long lesson learned for sure.
I think my biggest lesson, or like the lesson I want to tell my kids or our kids eventually in the future, is when you move out for the first time, you need to have, and I don't know what the number will be like, you know, when the time comes.
Yeah.
But for right now, I would say any kid who moves out for the first time, you need to have 10,000 in savings before
very
you
smart.
move out.
And then you need to, not only that, but you need to know exactly how to use it.
Yeah.
Because like growing up, like, and this is by no fault of anyone, not our parents, because I know in my life, like, my parents didn't know any better, so I didn't know any better. It's like a generational thing almost. Like certain families just don't know how to manage their money. That's just how it is. It's no one's fault. But like I didn't know how to manage my money, and so like now knowing what we both know, like I'm not going to allow our kids to fall into the situation that we did, you know.
On the other token,
I also want them to know the dangers of credit. Like there's a lot of benefits to credit. Like you can't buy a house without credit. You know, you can't buy a car without credit. Like there's smart ways of doing it, but you can fall into the rabbit hole really, really fast.
And honestly, I don't think building credit is something that you like have to think about. Like as long as you get 2 credit cards, or like even honestly maybe even 1 credit card. Like I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, but
yeah,
I didn't grow up thinking, oh, I have to build my credit. I just, like, when I was 18, I had a credit card.
Yeah.
And when, you know, I got a car and started making payments on that. So, like, things will eventually, like, you'll have to make payments on them. You just have to, like, actually not miss a payment.
But you know what's evil? Is how colleges get you. Like, I remember specifically Chase Bank. They were passing out flyers on campus. Hey, want a free pizza? Sign up for this credit card. And of course, college students are hungry all the time, especially like their first time away from home. Maybe or maybe not, they don't know how to cook, and they fall into a situation where like they're hungry, and they entice students with these free pizzas, free whatever, sign up for this credit card. And that's what I did. That's how, I mean, it started for me like really early. Granted, I never used a credit card, but there's kids out there like, oh, I got this credit card now.
Oh, yeah.
And they're 18 years old. What do you expect them to do, you know? So that definitely doesn't help.
Wow,
so we definitely
cruel.
Did that happen at your school?
I don't think I saw it personally, but I would always just like pass by those tents on campus. Like I never wanted to talk to anybody.
I mean, the thing is like they would do it like at the Papa John's. They wouldn't even be on campus. They would be at Papa John's. They would hand out flyers. Hey, want this credit card? Come to Papa John's at 6:00. We're signing you up for credit cards and giving you a free pizza. Of course, I'm going to get the free pizza.
Goodness. See, I know that my mom has told me that she took a finance class in high school. And I think I had a coworker who took finance classes in high school, and he was like my age, but like I don't remember it being a requirement. I know it was, finance was not a requirement.
And I mean, we already have a outdated education system anyways, but that's a whole different conversation. But I honestly don't remember a financial class in high school. The only class I remember that had anything to remotely deal with real life was home ec. Yeah,
where you get to sew and cook.
And I only took that class because of the free desserts every week.
Yeah.
You know?
Duh.
But like you're playing house in that class. You're not learning how to pay rent or budget your bills.
Budget. Yeah.
Like so. But anyway, I want you to talk about like our budget, like roughly how that worked out for us and how you built it.
I built it so that every single paycheck that would come in, I would input however much we made, because I think when I started the budget, we would make different amounts every month. So I have it so that every single month we input our paycheck, and then the following columns are all of our budgets, or I'm sorry, our bills. And then after our bills, what's left over is for groceries, car gas, fund money, and like miscellaneous such as credit cards.
Yeah, and savings. Or did you say,
I did. Yeah, savings as well. Yeah. So I know some people say you pay yourself first, but when you have, minimal income, you just have to make do. So
you gotta eat dirt. You gotta eat dirt for a long time before you actually are able to reward yourself.
Right.
And that's what we did for 3 years. We ate dirt for 3 years before we even like saw a little bit of benefit in it.
Right.
But I mean, I think it paid off.
For sure.
So I think at this point, like so I guess I have a worry number. I don't want to be in debt no more than $2,000. If I hit that $2,000 mark, that's when I get nervous. Yeah. But otherwise, like, we're in a good situation now.
And my number is 1,000.
Oh, wow.
Honestly.
See, again, I can't help it. I have expensive taste.
Well, yeah, you have big expenses coming your way. So,
but I like to think that my expenses pay themselves off.
They have been.
The camera gear, the bikes,
yeah.
They pay themselves off.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm just out here going to Lakers games every night.
Not anymore.
Not that I can anyway.
Nope.
But like even like little things, like we would go to Dodger games.
Yeah.
Like every other week.
And eat the food there.
And pay for parking and get the beer and nasty
and buy a shirt.
And buy well, actually, no. Because every Dodger game we go to is a promo day, so they're giving stuff out.
That's true.
We've never bought any Dodger merchandise, but we have a ton.
Yep, that's true.
But I mean, I think I wonder how many. I know we're not the only couple that has gone through this, man.
Definitely.
And there are some couples out there now that are going through it. So I hope those are the ones that this podcast touches, and that they can kind of learn from our mistakes in this consolidated amount of time that we're talking about it. But again, like huge kudos to you, because I still don't know how to budget. But I think here's the thing. If both of us were the same, one of us wouldn't be necessary.
Yeah, of course.
So like you're the numbers girl, and I definitely trust your judgment because it's gotten us to this point.
Yeah.
And I love that.
You bring in the money, so.
Yeah, you tell me to go. You tell me, hey, I want this house. I want this bike. All right, I'm going to make the money. I'll bring it back to you. And you just tell me where to put it.
Yep, exactly.
That's how our relationship works. I go out and get the money. She tells me where to put it, and we're good.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if anybody is curious how to pay off their debt and create a budget, I did make a YouTube video about that.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I think I'm going to make another one and make them shorter and maybe split them up. But resources are out there.
You have I think you have a lot of good budget tips. Like, I don't know all your budget tips, but again, like just seeing where we were and where we are now, like you have a lot to share with people. And as long as you break it up, man, you can even make that a whole video series.
Yep.
So I'm going to link her channel down in our bio. You guys go subscribe to it. And I guess subscribe to mine too. I'm going to link that too.
Yes. We hope you guys, have a good day, and hope this was helpful for you, or if not, just entertaining.
I hope it scares them. Because like debt is a scary place to be. And it's because like once you see how the mountain is and that you have to climb it to get over it, it's a tall feat, but it's definitely doable. You can definitely get over that mountain.
Yep.
So you got any closing thoughts before I wrap this up?
I want to thank the snowball method. That's how we got out of it.
Okay, quickly in 30 seconds, explain the snowball method.
You pay off the smallest debt first, and then you pay off the next debt.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Again, in my YouTube
Small
video.
steps.
Yeah.
I might have to watch that YouTube video myself.
Yeah.
I think I need to at least know a little bit about our budget.
About how we got out of it.
Yeah. So.
At least track it.
Yeah, for sure. Track your budget, track your spending, track everything. Track and measure.
Yep.
And you'll see results. I got that from my boss.
All right.
Yeah. So that pretty much does it for this podcast, guys. We want to thank you for listening. This is episode 4. We're having a lot of fun with this.
Yeah.
Follow us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're also on Spotify. Still waiting to get on all the other major podcasting platforms, but it's a process. We'll get there. Until next Tuesday, guys, this is Tristan
and Stephanie,
and we'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Bye.